Chapter 7, Creating High-Quality Environments. So what determines programs' quality? Researchers have identified 3 factors that are associated with quality programs: a small group size, a low teacher-child ratio, and teacher preparation and qualifications. So how do you locate high-quality programs? Well, government-funded resource and referral agencies, or R&Rs, are located throughout the country to assist families in locating early childhood programs. And these R&Rs have computer programs that can document the services provided, the aspects of programs, and connect families with kinds of programs that they need. And here's a website that you can take a look at R&Rs. And the outcome is that families must determine which program best meets their unique needs. There's also program accreditation, and several professional organizations recognize exceptional early childhood programs. Each organization has established its own standards and review criteria, and participation is usually voluntary and requires a combination of self-study and program review. And an example of this process is the NAEYC program accreditation process, and you have a website there if you want to take a look at their criteria. In regards to licensing, there's no uniform national standards for licensing. Each state establishes and reinforces its own child care licensing regulations. In the state of California, our licensing is organized under the California Department of Social Services, and the law is Title 22. And there is a set of videos that you can view that provides information about this law. Some early childhood programs are exempt from state licensing requirements, but that exemption does not mean they don't have to meet those requirements. The assumption for that exemption is that they can police themselves, and the problem is that many times the programs themselves view it as being exempt from meeting the standards. The big ethical issue and professional issue about that is in California, our licensing is minimum health and safety standards. And so it's not ethical or professional to consider yourself exempt from meeting minimum health and safety standards. So areas that are commonly examined as part of the licensing process include teacher qualifications, staffing ratios, or how many adults per child, group size, curriculum plans, emergency preparation and services like your emergency plans, policies, and protections you have in place. Let's take a look at indoor safety now. Teachers have an ethical and professional obligation to protect children's safety and well-being. Young children are especially vulnerable to hazards in their environment, and part of that is because they have limited ability to recognize unsafe conditions, and they don't have as much experience in regards to outcomes of unsafe conditions. When creating safe indoor environments, special attention should be given to the location of the building, making sure that the building has adequate space, the arrangement of the rooms, the security of the building, and you can find more information on that on page 102. Fire safety and evacuation plans, there's more on that on page 183. bathroom facilities and sanitation, lighting, ventilation, and air quality, and you can find more information on that on page 185. When outdoor environments are carefully planned and supervised, they provide all children with unique learning opportunities. So if we have safe outdoor play areas, it reduces the risk of unintentional injury and liability issues. And this makes it also less stressful for teachers to monitor. So what we want to make sure that we pay special attention to in regards to outdoor environments, or making sure that there's adequate space to accommodate the children's active play, designing play areas so they're easy to supervise and there's no blind spots where teachers can't see children. We want to make sure that we select playground equipment that's developmentally appropriate for the ages of the children who will be using the playgrounds. They're safely instructed, they're properly installed and accessible to all the children. And some details in regards to those issues can be found on page 186 and page 191. We also want to make sure that we don't have any poisonous plants and vegetation, and you can see some examples of poisonous plants on page 190. Maintain the play equipment so it's safe, and make sure the surfacing material is also in safe conditioning, like maybe the padded astroturf or the depth of the sand under the climbing equipment is the right depth, and it's been raked so it's soft. And then of course supervision of the children as they play at all times. Unfortunately, sometimes staff take the time when they're outside for conversation or catch up, when really they should be spending even more time supervising children because it's a more dangerous environment. Transportation. When programs transport children, children's safety must always be a major concern, and programs should be aware of insurance issues and liability issues. Vehicles should be equipped with proper safety seats, seat restraints, and fire extinguishers. Motor vehicle injuries are the leading cause of death for children under 15 years of age in the United States. So that shows us the importance of making sure we monitor safety when we're transporting children. In 2011, 1,283 children died as occupants in motor vehicle crashes. 207,432 were injured. That's an average of 3.5 deaths and 568 injuries each day. So child safety seats and lap and shoulder seat belts reduce the risk of death in passenger cars by 71% for infants and by 54% for toddlers ages 1 to 4. And so to keep updated on child safety seat laws, especially in California, you want to monitor the website below because those change often depending on what legislation has been passed recently. The use of privately owned vehicles should be discouraged to limit a program's liability. But if you use private vehicles, drivers should possess the appropriate license and be insured. Vehicles should be inspected for safety, and travel plans should be developed, reviewed, left with the director, and followed precisely, just to make sure that the plan, the staff and the center are aware of the plan in case something were to happen.